coming up to 7:21, and momentum is growing in a campaign to make central London safer and more pleasant for shoppers. The New West End Company, which is in charge of promoting our city's main shopping streets, is launching a 5-year plan which it believes might increase spending. And a man nearly killed by a bus in central London is leading new calls for Oxford Street to be pedestrianised. Our reporter Jonathan Savage is on Oxford Street for us this morning, and we can cross now to him live. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Paul.
And can we start, please, with the New West End Company? What are their ideas?
Yeah, they're launching a £25 million 5-year plan, which they say has got support from the Mayor's office, certainly from the Deputy Mayor for Business and Enterprise, Kit Malthouse, who is speaking at their launch in Selfridges this morning. And they've got a number of ideas which are really all about representing their members and making money by getting more people coming to Oxford Street and being competitive in the light of the new shopping malls at Shepherd's Bush and Stratford, as well as the existing ones on the outskirts of London and Brent Cross. Some of their ideas include New York-inspired traffic-free Sundays in the West End. They say that over the last 5 years, the traffic-free days they've had has boosted shoppers' spend by £300 million. They want less congestion from buses by part pedestrianising the street here, and also removing the one-way system at Tottenham Court Road, installing another diagonal crossing, building on the success of the one at Oxford Circus.
Now, pedestrianising Oxford Street is something a lot of people have called for in the past, and not just to make shopping easier.
No, safety is a big thing, because Oxford Street is primarily a shopping street in many people's minds, yet historically it's always been very busy with traffic. And under Ken Livingstone, the number of buses coming along Oxford Street increased significantly. They reduced the access for cars, but there are still 23 bus routes that roar up and down the street every single day. One man who knows about the dangers of buses is Tom Kearney, who joins me now. Tom, what happened to you very near this spot?
Yeah, I was hit in the head by a 16-ton Bentley bus in the head, and which shot me to coma and popped up my lungs and cancelled our Christmas plans.
Thank goodness that you're safe and well today, and you've had many happier Christmases, so hopefully to look forward to since then. But this has really inspired you to campaign for a safer Oxford Street, and you see buses as being a real scourge.
Yeah, I mean, look, 23 bus routes through a place that's well served by the Underground and soon to be by Crossrail. It's Europe's busiest shopping street, okay? I think of this as for use of another word, it's a giant mall. And the comparison is Oxford Street, there have been 77 people killed or seriously injured in the last 5 years. And how many people have been killed or seriously injured at Westfield or Brent Cross? Compared to that, this is Europe's busiest shopping street. I'm really glad to see the New West End Company getting out there and with a program of basically improving pedestrian safety and making the shopping experience more pleasant. Now, looking at costs, 77 deaths, according to, or seriously injured. Looking at the Road Safety Great Britain did an estimation that the cost of a road death was about £2 million. Times 77, you're looking at £150 million of costs with all the deaths and serious injuries the last 5 years. And that includes the deaths and seriously injuries too. So there's a huge cost to the amount of buses that TfL insists on routing through this street.
I suppose the problem, Tom, might well be perceived as being that if the buses don't go up and down Oxford Street, and of course there are safety implications, although there are plenty of crossings on Oxford Street, if the buses don't go up and down Oxford Street, the tubes are already at capacity in the rush hour, the buses will go somewhere else, you'll simply displace the safety problem.
I'm not sure that's the right question, because it's not...
try answering that one, Tom, for us. Try answering that one first.
Pardon? Answer that one.
Yeah, try answering that simple.
One. People come to Oxford Street many times as a terminus, not as a basic transit point. If you look at the buses that are going up and down Oxford Street, they're mostly empty. So these people aren't jamming onto the tube. They're coming here, and they're leaving from here.
Okay, then, and the other side argument to this, you've talked about it being a shopping centre. You've called it a sort of mall. In fact, it's more than that, isn't it? It's quite a vibrant street. And the problem we've had in the past in this country, when areas are pedestrianised, for all the right reasons you've outlined, they kill them stone dead. You lose all that vibrancy, you lose the atmosphere.
I think that's a really fatuous connection.
Thank you.
The bottom line is, it is fatuous. I mean, what are you pointing to? Where they pedestrianized streets in Pontefract? Or are you talking about the largest shopping street in Europe? mean, answer my question. Where are you talking about pedestrianisation killed places?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Use an example.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of examples. Only ones I know. I don't know Pontefract, I'm afraid. But Maidstone, for example. Maidstone, for example, and Canterbury, there's been a lot of local criticism that business is down, and you get that slightly ghost town feeling in the evening. You get that ghost town feeling in parts, for example, of Croydon in the evening, because you don't get the use of the shopping centre as a thoroughfare as well as a shopping centre.
Excuse me, when you go to France, you go to Champs-Élysées. When you go to Japan or Tokyo, you go to Roppongi. You don't go to London to go to Maidstone or Croydon. I mean, I love those places, great towns, but you come to Oxford Street to shop and to go to restaurants and enjoy everything that it has. And sometimes you take a bus here and you get off. Sometimes you take a tube here and you get off.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Tom Kearney there in conversation with us, of course, and with Jonathan Savage, live on Oxford Street. And apologies if you had difficulty hearing some of what Tom was saying there because of the traffic noise, which, of course, one of the concerns he's got